Oh, yes, episode number 8. This is a good one. Today, I interviewed my friend Anya. Anya is a fellow comedian, as well as just a good friend. We talked about a whole load of stuff. We talked about comedy. We talked about Russia. We talked about culture. We talked about sex. We talked about art. It was a blast. It was good fun. I really enjoyed it. And I learned a few things about myself along the way. Isn't that nice? You can find Anya on Facebook. Her name is spelled Anya, and it's Anya is Trying. She's got a much bigger following on Facebook than me. Good for her. That's great. I had a great episode. Now, upcoming shows for me. The soonest one, the one that is most soon, is Palmerston North on the 25th of September. No, scratch that. Palmerston North on the 19th of September, but this will have already been released by then. The next one's going to be Newtown Social Club on the 25th of September. Now, if by any chance I have any listeners that live in Whangarei, I really need a place to stay from the 22nd to the 24th, because that's right, I have a comedy show up there as well. We're going to be doing the Whangarei Fringe Festival. As if like being in Whangarei wasn't fringe enough, they put a festival for the fringes of Whangarei. It's kind of odd, isn't it? Chicka chicka. Anyway, I'll be doing a show on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in Whangarei of October. Check that out. The show is called 3 Absolute Legends. You can find that on my Facebook page, as well as Event Finder. And come along. Be great to have you. Apart from that, enjoy the episode. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye. Anya, we're live.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Oh, we're live. Yeah, cool.
We are on, and I'm going to have another go at your vape. I don't even care. Look at me.
All right, there's a camera. Peace.
I've gotten into filming it.
Yeah.
But you know what I've found is that there is so much more work in terms of editing that comes into play when you're having to film stuff as well. Bring it down, move it around, full swivel.
Cool. Yeah.
It just doesn't stay down, does it?
Sweet. No, this is good.
I want rigged back posture the whole time.
Yeah. Like a
Nice.
good girl. It's a cool girl.
Yeah. We were just talking about how like sometimes me personally, if I bomb on stage, the first thing I want is someone to say, "Hey, that was pretty shit, dude, but here's where you can improve on it."
It's probably not the first thing I want to hear. You know,
I tell it to myself anyway.
I've noticed I've done that to my friend. I knew what he missed, like the bits he missed, and I came on to him. I was like, "It's a really good show, but you missed this, this, and this." Literally right after he finished, and I think I should have waited a little bit about it. You know, like just kind of let him process. Maybe he remembers himself what he did wrong or what he forgot. But yeah, because it's been done to me. Like my mom did that to me, and I was like, "No, dude, you
That's
can't."
weird coming
you
from
wait?
your mom, though.
Yeah. No, it's just too soon. You know. Yeah, you gotta wait a little bit about that kind of stuff.
I think I've only had my parents come to like 3 of my shows now, maybe 4 actually.
I haven't seen my parents for 7 years though.
They're back. Are they still in Russia?
Yeah.
Above Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
in the middle.
Yeah, in the Ural Mountains in Magnitogorsk, the steel heart of Russia.
Known for its. I can't even think right now.
No, I'm not a fan. I met a guy yesterday, like a Russian gay guy. I just bumped into him and had a few drinks, and he's from a really small place around Moscow.
Yeah.
And we just bonded so much being from a shithole, you know, and being queer and stuff. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Have you ever gone back? Have you ever gone back to Russia to do comedy at all?
No. My mate, I don't know if he's a mate or not anymore, to be honest, but my mate told me that they opened a comedy club in my hometown maybe 5 years ago or so. So I was already doing stand-up. And he was like, when you're back, you should try it because we've never seen a woman do it.
Really?
He's like, it's been open for, I don't know how long by the time we were talking, maybe like a few years.
Yeah.
He said never, ever there has been a girl on stage.
Damn, you could have such a niche market over there too.
I'm not sure if my hometown is the place for my niche stand-up.
How many people in your hometown?
Same as Wellington, pretty much, like 500,000.
Right. Damn.
Yeah, it's a small city.
Yeah. So you moved here seven years ago, was it?
10.
10 years ago.
Almost 10. It's going to be 10 in February.
Do you miss it at all back home?
I miss my family, but no. No, honestly, I would go back to like to travel to see St. Petersburg. It's beautiful places and stuff, but or I don't know, Lake Baikal, like the clearest lake in the world. Dope,
Classic.
Siberia.
A staple. Yeah.
Somewhere like, what was the movie? Into the Wild?
Yeah, where he goes up. He goes up to, it's Alaska, right? He
Yeah.
travels from like, I watched that movie and I couldn't
Did you get
help.
inspired?
No, you know what? There was aspects of it that were inspiring, but at the same time, I was like, man, really selfish. I thought it was just like, my thing of like just totally blanking his family, and just kind of like, because you see the effect that it plays on his family throughout the movie as well.
Yeah.
Where there's like this huge amount of like sadness. They don't really know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I found that kind of selfish, but I do see the appeal of some just letting go of everything.
Yeah.
The act of like burning cash. You know?
It's not really so possible in New Zealand. It's too small for this. But,
No, yeah.
But yeah, and Russia was, very capable of doing that. So maybe I would go traveling, something like, maybe I would go like bring some friends from here to Russia to show them around.
That would be cool.
But I would not. No, I just
You wouldn't go back?
I just don't know, man. Even when I went back 7 years ago, like first month, I just partied nonstop.
Is it good for partying?
Man, I just forgot how much we drink there. Like it was nonstop. It was nonstop. I remember we tied like 2 boats next to each other and we were drinking whiskey in the middle of a lake, just like sunburning kind of vibe.
Nice.
It was ridiculous. I tolerance, but
I'm such a lightweight with like anything.
you just kind of have to be.
You just have to develop it. Yeah. Or we die.
Yeah. First month was just drinking. Second month I was just kind of like a driver for my family, sister to school, mom to work, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking I have no idea what I would be doing there. I still haven't started stand up at that point. I think it was just after I came back from Russia, and I wasn't like considering it or anything. It was just about. I had no idea what to do there.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
something I want to do in Russia is that trans-Siberian.
Yeah, be prepared to drink a lot with like soldiers and.
Is that what it is?
Marines, yeah, it's just like wagons of people drinking through the whole Russia. Yeah, it goes for like 12 days.
It's crazy. I watched this documentary about it once. I can't remember. It was this woman. She's like an English comedian, and she went, yes, it starts in China. And it goes like all the way up. Where does it end? Is it in St. Petersburg?
I don't know.
It goes even further than that. Yeah, I don't know. Something I want to do. I wanted to. Have you done comedy like outside of New Zealand?
No. I haven't really left New Zealand much. I traveled a lot when I was a kid, but I really like it here, and I don't see the appeal of other places. Like this is the best country.
Nice. Is Wellington best city, you reckon?
I would like to go to Auckland a bit more often.
Yeah.
To perform, but not to live. No, too messy, too big. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I reckon Wellington's easily just like so comfortable.
Yeah, man, you gotta get out sometimes, like plan trips. I don't know. I went to Gloria Vale 2 years ago, plan trips outside of Wellington. But yeah, still, I love it. I don't want to go anywhere.
No, I'm digging it. I like it here. I think it's getting better and better too. Like,
it's not like we have a choice.
Yeah, that's true, right? I found like the whole COVID and the lockdown thing, just like the forced narrowing of choices that I had and options, just made it so much easier to just. I'm so much more comfortable with the decisions I've made now because like, oh yeah, well there was no other option. Like, what else could I do?
Yeah, I was talking to a girl yesterday about it. She was like, "Oh, my whole my plans are off. I was supposed to be in a different country right now." And I was like, dude, it's not like it's not like an earthquake that, affected like a country. It's universal. Like literally everybody's plans are fucked. Like what are you complaining about?
So true.
Also, you can relate to literally anybody right now. So just,
common ground with everything.
Yeah.
I got fucking done with COVID talk though after a while.
My eye doctor, I had to see like 4 of them at the same time, just like different tests.
Oh, right.
And all 4 of them asked me, how was your COVID? And by the end of it, I was like, dude, if you ask me how was my COVID, I can't.
Smack you. Yeah. If I could only see you. Huh.
I'll just be honest. I'll just say I tripped on acid maybe 8 or 9 times with my flatmate. We made
with
a
the
movie.
eye drops, which is why I'm here to see the eye doctor.
Yeah, no, man. I really enjoyed lockdown. That was fun. Maybe not for comedy. Personally, I didn't really write much.
No.
It was more like a sad diary, you know. But no,
Have you reread it?
I wrote a joke about, I suppose because I was on Tinder a bit, you know, I was just bored.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, what are your jokes about COVID? And I'm like, this is a very serious topic. And I would rather not joke about it. But at the moment, I'd rather just focus on something important and read my embalming book, because that's the best time to read an embalming book.
That was on Tinder, you said that?
Yeah, my mom judged me for that too. She said, please stop telling men that that's your bad book.
Yeah.
No, it's just kind of like, I feel like it just helps me separate the ones that don't want to be around me, right?
That's true. Yeah. I think if you like try and express almost like a more raw version of yourself, where it's, for example, like you can be really, really raw about who you are, and you're not always like that. But if people can tolerate you when you're doing that,
yeah, like be prepared to date a serial killer or something.
There
like
you go,
that.
right? Because maybe 1% of the time he's a serial killer, 99% of the time he's great.
Yeah.
But if you can take him at his worst, right?
I agree, absolutely.
Fucking, we're solving the world's problems right here.
I mean, the chances that we have met a serial killer in our lives definitely are out there.
Yeah, seriously. It's like the same with like a pedophile. You know, you've probably hands down have met.
I definitely met a
I
few.
know I've met a few too. Yeah. It's freaking crazy.
I
right?
had a chat with one, actually. He was very open about talking about it, and I was like, well, how does it work for you? And he said it's more like because he goes to strip clubs. And he said, it's more like a role play, so he knows that it's like the women are of legal age, it's just the way they look, which is younger, and he knows that it's wrong, but it's, I don't know how to explain. It was more of a role play rather than like a sickness.
So this was a guy who
Comes to strip clubs to...
But wasn't like a practicing pedophile.
He introduces himself as pedophile. It's very interesting, yeah. It's like there's
That's fucking wild.
There's a few characters there, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, crikey, man. I've got a weird. So I think I don't even know if I want to talk about this because I might put my head fucking foot. I'm gonna fuck it. I'm talking about it.
All right, we can cut it, right?
Yeah, of course we can edit this. That's no problem. Not gonna though.
Yeah.
Too much work.
Yeah, that's what Shannon said too, and he cut nothing. Yeah.
And I'll edit it all up. It'll be fine. Put in
Yeah.
the best light. Play. I was thinking about this with the whole thing with pedophilia. Is at the end of the day, I think it does come down to it being a mental illness or I don't know if I want to say a type of sexuality. You know what I mean? And it comes to a point where it's almost like the fact is that it's a reality. And instead of, I don't think these people choose to be attracted to children. I think they do choose to act on those attractions. Yeah, exactly. And so I think we need to have like a system where, I'm not saying pedophilia is normalized, but where we can go about addressing those desires that people have and then trying to create a workaround for it.
Yeah, treating it like a...
Treating it is just like any mental illness.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah,
like I am prone to violence.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, absolutely.
Yeah. And
It's the whole, we chat a lot with friends about like the prison system. It's obviously in a alternative universe, or something where we could just get rid of prisons because it's not really necessary if it was just like social work instead. And I don't know.
Depends how you look at prisons too, right? It's like
communication rather than
punishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I think, but maybe this is just me coming in, like living in the current societal times, but it's like, I feel like things have changed much more rapidly than they ever have in the past 20 years compared to anything before that. Of course, I can only speak on what I know now. I don't know what the fuck happened like 100 years ago, maybe because I'm living in it. But if I look back and it's like, oh yeah, it's like a normal progression of society. But I do think as time goes on that, and I hope it does, because at the end of the day, if you're really trying to prevent something like pedophilia, it's punishment and deterrence don't work because they're already out there.
I suppose it depends as well on the people who are dealing with it. Say, it's really hard to forgive something when it's personal, you know? Like, I don't know, it's quite an interesting 50-50 situation. Let's say if a person is not affected by a cause, but then someone close to them gets affected, they're like, wow, let's do something about this. Like somebody got cancer and like her brother is just insane. Let's raise awareness, like nobody fucking knows, and it's like, yes, I get it, you want to help, but before it was not personal to you, it didn't matter to you. So is it a good thing or a bad thing? And the same way in case of, say, helping people in prisons, it's like, who decides? If a person that it was affected by can help themselves and forgive the person who committed the crime,
Mm-hmm.
then that's where it comes from. I think it's somewhere in India or Africa. There's a tribe of women who were raped by gangs, like hardcore. And then they just organized this village. I may be like chopping the story because I haven't seen the documentary, but I've learned a lot about it.
Okay.
And all these women who were affected very badly by these men organized this village, and they're raising those men. They're trying to help them off the drugs. They're literally working with their own rapists and helping them with kindness and understanding and learning and knowing that people, we can redeem ourselves. We can learn better, right? From doing bad, somebody goes bad, somebody goes, I'll never do this again. So it's always quite personal, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
and depends on the society we live in, I suppose.
Yeah, I would point on that. I would say that,
say in Russia, a bunch of angry guys will just beat up a pedophile rather than talk or try to learn what happened to him when he was a kid or some shit like that, rather than something
yeah,
else.
I would say like I think what you were talking about before is like the acting on behalf, is like advocacy on behalf of somebody else. And it's similar to the thing of I'm offended on behalf of somebody else. I was talking to one of my comedian friends where she was saying how she is a gay woman, and she made a joke about herself as a gay woman. And a straight woman, after the show, came up to her and said, I really don't think you should be speaking about those things.
Wow.
And it's like, who the fuck are you to even say what I can and can't talk about? And you know what I mean? It's like a very personal experience that they're trying to speak from instead of like looking at it as this whole kind of macro, wider problem.
I think maybe in the way of comedy and like audience reacting to that is, I don't know how many people in the audience actually ever think about writing comedy or writing jokes, and do they think we make this shit up, or do they know that it's true, or do we make this shit up, I try to write about what actually happens because I think facts are way funnier, it's just the way you put them together. So yeah, it is very, again, personal situation. I don't know, audiences are weird, and then maybe if they try to like put themselves in our shoes, I don't know.
Yeah, like when you write a joke, your intention is never to come out and like fucking hurt someone's feelings.
No, sometimes it is, like I was writing about my ex, it was definitely to hurt his feelings.
Do you reckon he hurt any of your stuff?
Yeah, I haven't done the joke, but I wrote a joke that like he was a musician, and I promised myself not to ever date,
Just in general, or a musician?
But but unless he's like a good musician, like I know.
Oh, that's clever. I get that. Yeah. Unless he actually knows how to play a fucking instrument or something.
He is a good musician. He's a talented one, just not a good one.
Right. Okay.
You know the difference?
I think so. Someone who doesn't, is it like practice, like gift over like actually actively practicing for something?
Yeah. So that was definitely to hurt him. And all the jokes about his small penis were definitely to hurt him too.
That's good. Yeah, fuck, I'd hate it if somebody made jokes about my
Doesn't
small
matter,
penis.
man. Size does not matter at all.
Matters to me.
I don't know. It doesn't. I think size matters in a way of like, okay,
joking.
first of all, if size matters, then like, why do women get bigger boobs? Okay? Like, it's so weird that, that's
Wait,
not,
are you saying if size doesn't matter, why do women get bigger
that's not what I'm
boobs?
saying. Sorry, I mixed it up. Size doesn't matter. Let's say in a men's case, in my point is that it's just, again, it's such a cliche, but it is the way you use it. And guys with bigger dicks are fucking lazy. That's it.
Yeah, well, it's the thing is like the gift over like actually having. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Talent over being good. Yeah.
All those small penis guys have to work for it.
And they do.
Poor guys, them.
Oh,
So I wanted to talk to you tiny bit about producing.
Yep.
Producing shows. So you just had Dark Art of Comedy number 3.
4.
Number 4.
Yeah, it was number 4.
How long have you been running those for now?
So the first show was last July, 2019.
Okay.
July 17th, I think. Yeah. So yeah, there was one in July, one in October, one I think just before COVID, maybe February.
That's the one. That's the first time I heard about you. Give us a rundown. Like, tell us, like, how does the show go? What's the
Right.
format?
So the first idea in July, I wanted to incorporate paintings into my comedy. I wanted people to rip into the paintings because I paint really weird, I don't know, trippy stuff. So I want, like, it's not realistic. It's all weird, right? Acid. People look at it and go, I would want to trip and look at it, which is a good compliment. I like that. So I picked 4 of my paintings, and I picked 4 comedians, and I gave them the paintings to prepare. And then we just had them on like an easel, right? Easel?
Like a stand or like
a stand on stage, and they were just ripping. First guy, my favorite painting, Patch Lambert, he was ripping into it, and he just talked about the frame and how you could buy the frame at Bunnings and stuff like that. It was fantastic, you know? They did a great job. Everybody did.
10-minute set?
20.
20 minutes just on the painting?
Well, it doesn't have to be just about the painting. You can literally say something about the painting and then have a whole big joke about it there, you know? Like I had... I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But yeah, the second one was with the paintings as well in 20 minutes for 4 comedians. And then the third one I put 4 musicians together. And each one performed an original song, and then the comic ripped into the song. So
right.
Say like I did my friend's Moira Jean's song. And there were lyrics like, oh man, I forgot. I have it written down somewhere.
Yeah, man, get it. Yeah, because the first time that I heard about the dark art was through the paintings. That was the first time I heard about it. And I think it was from you talking about Patch ripping into your frame. I
tried to sell my paintings by making fun of them.
Do you chuck them up in art gallery? Do you sell them during the show?
I tried to.
No lie?
No, I tried to, yeah. Well, I just like to expose them to people, you know, just so people know they exist and that there is a possibility.
That's kind of a fun, creative way to get your art out there.
Yeah, and also it's just necessary for people to see what's going on in my head, you know, because I don't paint because I want to paint. I kind of have to, just so I don't go...
Crazy.
Go
yeah.
waka. Yeah. So it's kind of it's necessary. It's an outlet. Since I was a kid, I just can remember just drawing nonstop.
Yeah, and was it the same with because you've been doing comedy for
7 years.
7 years. Do you reckon it's the same thing where it's almost like therapeutic?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I've heard you talk as well about how it's. Are you trying to take it in this direction to use your comedy more as like an educational tool?
Yeah, I talked about it with. It's really hard. It's hard because I don't want to sound preachy, and also the shit I want to talk about is really dark, and I know that not everybody's ready to listen to that or open to be vulnerable, you know, during a show when they just want to laugh. So it's almost like Hannah Gadsby's, you know. Have you seen her? What was it, Nanette? It was great, man. It was great. It made me cry. It made me laugh. It was beautiful. But also, if I want to work like that, I want to be educational. I obviously want to know what I'm talking about. I don't want to give stupid advice, you know. Like, say a joke about how it's okay to fuck your ex for a while after you break up because you can kind of get everything off your chest. You can have sex, turn
including
to him. Yeah, you can just
literally
turn to him and go, I fucking hate your sister, you know, something I've never been able to say before, you know, and then just leave, close the door behind myself.
See you next week.
Yeah. And it's kind of okay. It's almost a closure, but I'm starting to think that I might be wrong about that. And maybe it's not okay to fuck your ex.
I would say probably somewhat unhealthy if you're trying to go for closure.
Yeah.
But I can't speak on that. But I've never fucked your ex. So
go for it.
I'll pass. I've met him. And I haven't. What do you got there?
No, I didn't find it.
Okay.
I didn't. I don't remember where I wrote it down. It was just some of her lyrics, and I would just rip into the lyrics. I don't remember, something to do with ketamine.
Nice.
Yeah, but I do not recall, to be honest. But yeah, that was the third one with musicians, and the fourth one, which just happened like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
It was same musicians and comics again, and next time I really want poetry. I want poets to do their...
I would love to tear into some poetry.
Yeah.
Jeez,
No, you're going to be in the next one.
So much fun.
Yeah.
God, have you written on poetry yourself?
I haven't, but I've illustrated my friend's poetry. You know that stripper gallery you were
Mm.
wondering about?
Yeah.
So me and 8 other girls organized this for, it was mine and my friend's idea in the beginning. We really wanted to put paintings and poles together and just everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Thistle Hall for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Organized 9 girls who work in the sex industry. There's way more, to be honest, who paint and are artists, and they're fucking incredible. It's very common in the sex industry to be an artist, which is buzzy to me. It's interesting. I would like to look into that a little bit more. But yeah, we had 9 girls. We set up our paintings. We put a pole in the middle. We had a live band, and we had like the big opening night. I don't know, 500 people or something.
Sheesh.
Just coming over, and all the artists were performing on the pole to live music.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, man.
It's just 2017. Is that what it was? 2016. I think it was 2016.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I read that article by Vice.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
So Hadassah at that point, my friend Hadassah, who was a poet, worked for Vice, and I illustrated some of her paintings, and they were in the gallery. Some of her poems,
Mm-hmm.
and they were in the gallery. So she kind of organized it, and they wrote about us.
Bang it. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really dope. So I would want Hadassah to come to the next show. I'll fly her from Auckland if she wants to.
She's up there now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She moved recently. So I would really, she has a book called How to Take Your Clothes Off, and it's fantastic. It's poetry about, the life of a stripper, I suppose. And just relationships and women.
Do you find like a lot of the from that show that you put together? So is it a lot of them are involved in the sex industry mainly to support like some kind of artistic expression or like an endeavor, or is it like a byproduct?
I think everybody has a different reason to be there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like when I worked as a bartender in a strip club like 8 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of crack addiction. I
Mm-hmm.
saw that, and I was like, whoa, that's why you work here, to support your crack addiction, you know?
Sure.
But then over the years, I've noticed different women, you know, there's to have money, to travel,
Mm-hmm.
to help your family, to support your kids, to pay for uni most of the time.
Right. Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do really fucking fast, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very proud. Yeah, very different reasons. Yeah, I suppose to have more time to be an artist.
Mm.
Because, you know, it's like 9 to 5, you just can't really let yourself loose. I can't control, like, I don't write an hour a day, and I don't paint an hour a day. I just paint whenever I feel like it. I write whenever something comes to my head, and I need time for that.
This is really what I wanted to talk to you about. Is just like myself and Shannon, whose podcast you were on just recently. Shout out to Shannon Bassogal.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome podcast. You better shout me out too, you fuck. Anyway, I want to talk to you just about like the time management, you know, and I find it super difficult myself too. Just working 40 hours, producing shows, and then it's almost like you're using 2 different sides of your brain. You're using like this very admin, analytical, process based, and then you're like, all right, I can do that for an hour, and then write some fucking jokes for an hour.
Well,
doesn't work.
But, you know, writing jokes is quite a logical thing as well. There's a formula.
Do you feel like it is?
There's definitely a formula to it if you want to use it. When I started comedy, I read about it. I tried to learn, and there are basic formulas of, you know, like the joke, the topper, and the second topper, stuff like that. You know, the rule of 3 and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to everybody. I just personally, I like to watch professional comedy to know what I like, and like understanding my own voice. But what were we therapy. That's what helped me.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I saw a therapist for about a year, and I went to see her. I had a lot of anxiety. Now I know why. Like, hindsight is a fucking cunt, you know. But
Sure.
but I had a lot of anxiety, and it was just around the time I was starting the first Dark Art of Comedy, and I noticed in myself, and mostly a lot of my friends, because, you know, it's easier to see it in someone else rather than you, that I'm just flaky, and I really don't like that. I don't like pulling out of things last moment, you know, saying no to comedy gigs like on the day.
Yeah, right.
For no particular reason, really, but just being anxious and probably depressed.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck knows. But yeah, and I went to see her, and I don't know, therapy helped a lot for understanding that I'm a few different people, and I can apply a different person to a different particular time, you know, say when I have to be around my ex-boyfriend's family, I can be this person that I fucking hate, but I will be that person because that's acceptable. And then when I'm at a comedy show, I'm on stage, this is the other Anya, you know, and blah blah blah. And then there's, you know, when I dabbled in stripping, there was Alex, a completely different, like very easygoing, happy girl, you know, which mostly I'm not.
Yeah, sure.
And that helped me. That whole kind of schizophrenic idea of having a few different people dealing with this shit is what helped me.
That's very interesting, because that sounds like the early onsets of multiple personality.
Well, so far it's working, man.
But here's my thinking too, just about that, is like, for the most part, this idea that we're like one person consistently, like this is who I am. It's like, it's never the case, and it's all relative to like the various situations that you get into. And I totally agree with you. Like when I'm doing comedy, I'm very different. When I'm doing this, I'm very different. Some of it's like somewhat the environment kind of imposing something on me, but another like probably a large portion of it is just me interpreting that stuff and then trying to create like an adequate response to how I think the environment should see me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I even do it with this sometimes, and it's like,
we were talking about this. Remember when we were partying? If you were an animal, I said I would be a chameleon, because I would just kind of pick whatever color is comfortable for you, and I'll just kind of try to be that color if that's what we're in, you know. But also to get in, like how I did get into producing. Since I was a kid, I always wanted to make movies, and I always wanted to be a director.
You did some skits as well. I saw you. I was going through like the trawls of your Facebook page, and I saw a few little skits in there.
Yeah, I dabbled, I suppose, in that a little bit. I always wanted to study film. I didn't in Russia. I kind of failed uni in Russia, and then I came to New Zealand and did study film. But the magic was lost, to be honest. Like, rather than being like, wow, this is such a powerful scene in a movie, I would just see where they put the cameras and the microphones, just so the scene looks that powerful, you know? So the magic was gone. Plus, I tried directing a few like music videos, and you have to be a fucking bitch to direct people. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be tough with them. And I want to work with my mates, and I don't want to be a cunt to my mates. So I thought, oh, comedy is a solo gig where I can still express what I do, what's in my head, instead of filming it, instead of having a whole crew just to, you know, show what I see. I can just tell what I see, and people will laugh or be sad or something, you know, have a feeling. And then producing, which to me just means organizing, is kind of almost the same as directing, just a different vibe. You know, when I was a kid, I used to say, when I'm 30, I want to be a director on coke. Like, I wanted to be the skinny bitch with a cigarette, you know, just fucking, hello.
The Dalmatians woman.
Yeah, kind of.
What's her name?
Cruella de Vil.
Yes, yeah.
I was very, like, looking forward to that whole, you know, vibe of, like, you did it, where's my coffee? You know, did you spit in my coffee? But
can you please spit in my coffee?
It'll get a cost, yeah. But now, like, I'm 30 in October, and I'm a producer who loves acid and weed. I don't know. And DMT. Yeah.
I've never done it.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's make this Joe Rogan podcast. Just talk about DMT.
Mini Joe Rogan. That's all I want, please.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah.
But I was
fantastic. That's something that helps to write, to be honest. Not DMT, but, you know, out of body experiences.
I had the most, I think, like LSD for me didn't necessarily like change everything for me, but it definitely brought me to a place where I was a lot more analytical, introspective. And then like a bunch of other things. Like, so much has to be said for like the people you hang around with, you know, like my friends as well. Just being able to, and I think that's a really good thing that's happening. At least I see it in Wellington a lot with my friend groups and stuff like that, is just like open dialogue about certain things is just so helpful. Just being able to talk things over, even if you're not even going to get an answer, but just being able to like express and get like a different perspective on things. Like, hey, I'm kind of thinking about this, but it takes like a real bit of vulnerability.
It does, yeah. I had a few friends that said they were like, I don't want to trip with you. Your questions are too weird, man. I just want to relax and look at the pretty patterns. You're like, what's life about? What is normal? What is time?
Yeah.
You know.
Just it depends what you get into it for, right? Like if it's recreational, if it's something to be truly like, am I going to get something? Am I trying to figure something out here?
Yeah, I thought about quitting smoking by tripping on acid.
Really? Did you quit smoking?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
With the vape and stuff.
I'm getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving it. And like instead of tobacco, weed, you know, hopefully let's please legalize it, please, guys.
I feel like it has, but that's the thing. We live in such a bubble here in Wellington. Like
I thought 10 years ago when I arrived,
100%. Yeah.
I was like, how is it still not legalized? You know, versus like Russia, weed in Russia, and how you get it and what you get for it. You know,
what's it like in Russia? Is it like
my
super
friend went
strict?
to prison for 2.5 years for having 3.5 ounces on him.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's fucked up, man. It's stupid as well. They can come up to you and grab your weed and smoke it right in front of you.
Really?
And still, you know, you get punished.
Man. When's the last time you went back?
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
2013, yeah. Shit. So I was like 23. I was still silly. 22, actually, yeah.
Yeah, fuck, man. Never been, but from what I've heard, just culturally, just so different.
At that point, I went to party, and I was still kind of, if I'm honest, I was still very Russian in my mind.
Yeah, sure.
So I was homesick. I wanted to go back. I wanted to see what's it like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was talking to Shannon about this. I went to Bali this year to visit my friends that I went to visit 7 years ago in Bali. And I don't think we're friends anymore.
Really? Just so different?
Yeah, like adults that are just quite narrow-minded.
That's the thing about friends, right? Is like, I think you can have so much in common with somebody, but it so much relies on just shared experiences.
And time, man. Actually, you know, I've been falling out of friendships recently, and I'm feeling almost okay about it. You know, people come and go. And
I think that's a really important thing to think about as well, is like for just anything like a human interaction in general is very much like it's a period in time, you know, and it's experienced during that period of time, and you enjoy it while it lasts, soak it up, and then if you move on, you move on.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
then it can always come back, maybe. You
Totally.
know? It's never too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been talking to quite a few people just about the time management side of things.
Yeah.
And do you, because you've got 2 shows that you run. You've got Dark Art and then
Dope Ass Sunday.
Yeah.
Comedy, yeah. And I would like to run more if I could. Yeah, if I could. I would like to hire an accountant if anybody. My banker flatmate that you probably
gonna have him on. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Booked him in for September, I think 18th.
Yeah,
something like that.
Pumped, man. I love living with him. Like living with him saved my life, and like all this production stuff that I'm doing on the money side, he's helping me so much.
Yeah,
he's very, very helpful, and I'm learning heaps. And that's, you know, just it feels like I'm achieving something properly.
Definitely.
because I'm doing it properly, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, there's a whole other world to comedy, I think. There's like the business side, and then there's like the getting up on stage, telling jokes.
But also, dude, like I work with my friends. I know that I'm working with people I know usually. And even, you know, like the accountant is my flatmate, my friend. So there's also a balance of just pure friendship rather than getting something out of each other.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's a fine line.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sheesh. So what else do you want to produce?
The end goal would be to produce festivals. I really want to, I don't know, I have a few mates, they have land like in the buttfuck nowhere, you know, down south.
Yeah.
And you just build stages and kind of like I don't want to say cleaner, different, maybe not cleaner version of Twisted Frequency.
So, I love Twisted. Have you been?
Yeah. I was supposed to perform, but then we just ended up tripping for 4 days. So
you were gonna like a comedy set?
Yeah, a few years
Twisted
ago.
Frequencies?
Yeah. The guy runs comedy down south. What's his name? Matt Roos Websites. That was his name for a while.
Okay.
He legally changed it.
Okay.
And he had a little mini stage built for Twisted Frequencies, but I couldn't find him there for 4 days because we were tripping.
He was lost.
Yeah, and I just had a great time in general.
Twisted Frequencies, hands down.
Super clean, man.
Best festival. Everyone is so friendly.
So clean. Everybody's like
nice.
putting their ciggy butts and bottles in places.
Yes.
We had like special pockets for cigarettes and joints and stuff.
Amazing. Are you going to go this year?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to go to a festival.
Fair enough.
I maybe want to go just camping.
Yeah.
In the buttfuck nowhere. But to create a festival with strippers and more art and more comedy and music and try to again incorporate everything into each other, you know, But that's like, let's say 3-5 year plan.
Nice.
Realistically, I think.
There's definitely an avenue for it. So much like, at least in Wellington, like I know there's time goes on, there's becoming like a more tried and true path that's being formed. But this is me speaking from like, realistically actively like a year into this, and that's about it. But I want to get back to Twisted Frequencies. Holy shit.
We should, man. Maybe we should just organize a whole bunch of comedians.
Talk
to him and just organize us as performers.
That would be so much fun. God, I went for the first time by myself 2018. Fuck, that was so confronting, but it was so good because you meet people so easily at that fest. Everyone's so friendly. There's no fuck boys. No fucks. No one's getting smashed and wasted. Woo.
It was beautiful now. Poi poi and like tripping and painting on each other. It was just everything.
Was it still in Golden Valley when you were...
No, Golden... It was called...
Golden Bay?
No, that one was called something... I can't remember. We joked about doing like a... It would sound really good, like the Da-Da-Da Valley Massacre. I don't remember.
Because it's next to Takaka. It was by the river as well?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Maybe it was the same year. Maybe we were at the same one.
So it was 2018 going into 2019, and then 2019 going into 2020. I was there. And then I wasn't even supposed to be in New Zealand now. I was supposed to be in India right now, but then COVID happened, and probably for the best.
For the best.
But I will probably go. Cheapest tickets too, as far as festivals go, for like 5 days too, like $200 something bucks. Nothing.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful, and it was pretty well organized as well for a bunch of hippies. Yeah,
it's gotten better too. It's gotten way, way better from what I've heard. But it's like the improvements that I saw from like the previous year to this year as well.
They used to do comics, and I know that like maybe 2017, my friend, he lives in Australia now. My friend Ollie, he tripped hardcore while doing a set for like 20 minutes, and he has like a fake testicle because he had cancer when he was a kid.
Did he get it out?
Yeah, he gets it out and makes people flick it because he can't feel it, and he was just tripping on balls, shoving.
Twisted Frequencies. Holy shit.
Yeah. No, the whole idea of like having a set, different comics and different drug would be amazing to me. Like, it just sounds incredible, but I know it's quite illegal.
This next guy's on heroin. Just fades out. Next one's on meth. Flips the fucking... Your final act's on meth. And he just flips the stage over.
That'd be great.
Crikey. Yeah, what's your thoughts on... Obviously, like, for stand-up, your core is, like, your writing, right? What's your thoughts on, like, the value of... So, like, getting up 6 times in a week and... writing one day versus writing for 6 times a week and then getting up for one day.
You gotta mix both.
Yeah, you think so? I think so too. I agree.
I don't know. Over gigging is not great either. I mean, I know everybody feels different. Some people feel like they should be gigging as much as they can. I feel like that because to me, it feels like I'm doing something. I keep achieving things. But at some point, when I go, I have my moments. I have my months when I just need to stay in bed, and just be depressed for a little bit. And watch RuPaul's Drag Race. That gets me out of depression.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Please do. It's just a pleasure. It's just... Oh.
Didn't someone from New Zealand get on that show recently?
No, we have our own drag show in New Zealand. And... Hugo Grull.
Yeah.
George?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won.
That's right. And that's
he won
okay.
The first season.
He's doing some great stuff, too.
There's a bunch of shows that we should go see.
So many. You've got a whole team behind him, too. Kate Creative.
Yeah. Super cute.
Yeah, I got on the first time. The only time I've actually worked with them was on Carnage Comedy. And that was a blast. And they have like a kick-ass following, too. Everyone loves it. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, no, and they produce a bunch of amazing shows as well. Like a good show with good comedians. It's all female lineup and stuff. I've done it a few times. It's great. Everything they do is pretty fucking fantastic. But yeah,
last night too, comedy variety show. I think is what it was. Yeah. They're like, I am inspired when I see that. I'm like, all right, that's kind of what I want to start doing.
Yeah, I watched them produce stuff and kind of got a bit of an idea how it works. Yeah, definitely. Just observing. Yeah.
Felt very lean. I got like a message saying, "Hey, this is a great way to promote our show," and it was like obviously copy and pasted. But I was like, "Wow, there's like a proper formula and structure set up behind all this."
Yeah, but I don't know, man, about writing. I haven't been writing much, to be honest. I wrote heaps after I got cheated on because I had to.
Sure.
I just sat in bars and it just came out of me.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if this is funny. It's just angry, teary, But it worked. For a little bit, it worked. Now I just have to kind of pick it apart and make it better rather than so feely,
I saw your set when you opened for Big
Daniel.
Dump. Yeah, that was good. That was so okay. It was such a smart ending that you had at the end as well.
Yeah, my beautiful rape joke. I'm so proud of it.
Fuck, it was good though. It was very, very good. Fuck, it was clever.
That's what I want to write. That's that's basically the thing I want to write from the beginning to the end. The journey, if you may, the journey of how my maybe sense of humor came to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because of my upbringing and my lovely parents, but also from, shitty things and how to deal with them and try to come out of them better,
Kind of narrating your life story.
Yeah, but also with I know it's a really sad topic to bring up, but I really want to make it work. I really, and
I think you're doing it though. You had you did what? Was it 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
And it was seamless. It was good. I haven't seen you do it again since then.
Yeah, it's very rough, man. I rehearsed a bit and that, I think it was, about 12, 15. There was a phrase that I just couldn't say without bursting into tears, that I really did love him. Every time I practiced, I would just break down. So I maybe didn't touch that set for a while because I didn't want to upset myself, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to talk about this because it just triggers me, basically, triggering myself. But I want to work on it. And then to make the whole story, not even cheating or rape or whatever, everything or suicides or blah, 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 everything. Make it funny and make it educational on the point of yes, shit happens, but it doesn't mean that we have to swim in this sadness, and kind of self-victimize. We can just dig ourselves up because what's the other thing to do? What's the other choice? You know? But I wrote a lot when I'm sad, which is sad. And I talked to a few people about it, and they were like, I talked to my ex's mother. She wrote the script for Once We Were Warriors. She messaged me after the whole thing, after he cheated. She was like, you're going to be fine, and you're going to write so much about it, use your anger and everything. And then I talked to a few younger artists, and they were like, no, dude, you shouldn't you shouldn't write when you just said. You should write whenever you have a strong feeling. It can be happiness, it can be sadness, it can be anger, it can be anything. And this kind of old school idea that the sad painter or the sad comic, it shouldn't be like that. We can use our happiness to write about it too. And I've been trying to write, say getting into an open relationship that makes me really happy. But at the same time, I'm happy. So I'm laughing at everything when I'm happy. So what do I pick?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of the times with arts as well, people are attracted to it out of a sense of,
vulnerability. I think the smartest thing I found out recently, I don't know how I got to the point, but I kind of realized that my biggest strength is my vulnerability. So if I show the person how vulnerable I am, maybe they'll show a little bit of theirs, and that's bonding on so many levels, and that's how you get closer and it becomes relatable.
There's real power, I think, in just being vulnerable. And then also, I was talking to my friend about this recently, just the idea of cringe, and just embracing the cringiness of a situation. And just embracing how cringy something is, and being fully aware of it is also empowering in a sense, in a weird way, in a way that's probably a new way of thinking, in a way where it's
it's when you fall down, and instead of being embarrassed about it, you just kind of giggle to yourself that fuck, I'm a loser, I fell down.
Because everyone fucking does it, and that's another thing too. So I think a few weeks ago I had a psychologist on, and we were talking just about where this teen anxiety and depression, a lot of it comes from, where a lot of it comes from. And she was saying, obviously, just the fact, the internet, everyone knows this, just like the idea of putting like your best face forward and everything like that, and how we don't really give ourselves much room for something to feel awkward or to feel kind of weird. You know, we always have to be this great person that we put forth, and the internet's definitely accentuated that because we only see highlights on Facebook. You know, you don't see the back end of things, even Instagram. Yeah, I think sharing that in an open platform is empowering for yourself, but also just super helpful for other people to see, you know?
Definitely.
And seeing how people react to it, because I think if I was watching your set and I was going through the same stuff and seeing how positively everyone reacted to that, not only seeing you go through it, but seeing people be like, oh yeah, hey, good for you. That was funny. That was good.
But you know, it's the scary part about this, about like writing a whole show about these kind of situations, is that you want it to be really, really good. You can't just pick up such a serious topic and fuck it up. It's bad. It's just going to be bad if you don't make it funny or educational or helpful in any way. If it's just cringy jokes, you know, then it's not worth it. It's the same way when I tried to write about stripping. I really wanted to, but I felt like I'm writing jokes about stripping that are funny to the public, but I don't agree with them. Like,
you would have saw a lot of it too when you were working there, but
I'm writing that it's dirty, but it shouldn't be because I don't feel that way. So I had to kind of step back and look at it from my point of view, from how it's actually a dope-ass thing to do, and we should, you know, encourage people to enjoy themselves. And
it's taboo, right? It's being broken down.
Being naked is beautiful. Like, I highly recommend everybody.
I walk around my flat. No, I don't. But
no, my question to everybody is like, when they ask strippers, "Do you love your job?" I'm like, when you get out of the shower and your favorite song is playing, like at the moment, your favorite song, do you not have a naked boogie, and is it not really fun? You know, and that's kind of their life.
Totally unrelated on the notes of showers. My fucking shower has 2 shower heads in it. Yeah. It's the dumbest thing. I don't know why, but it's like
on each side.
One's here and then one's facing the door and like one's the other way. And so you put both on, it just floods out the door, goes everywhere. I don't know where I'm going with that. Shower podcast
Showers
now.
Yeah, no, I have a bathtub and a shower.
Yeah.
So lovely.
2 of you in your flat?
Just 2 of us, yeah. Me and James.
I got 5.
Oh man, no, I can't live with
1
people.
bathroom. Nah, it's all good.
Horrible.
We're all on like different, like weirdly different schedules as well, so like works.
That's
really,
great.
really well.
But I don't think I'll ever live with anybody. I'll either live alone or just with James because I'm loving it. Yeah, it's great. I really found like a left brain to my right brain. We really help each other. Like I would say, hopefully he's okay with me talking about it. Like he would help me logically and financially and how to manage my time and do things, and then I would communicate to him about, I don't know, relationships and emotions, and that like for a dude like him it's okay to open up sometimes, and it's been helping us both on very many levels. So I'm not moving out ever no ever. I'm not planning to, no.
So you went up to Auckland, did a bit of comedy up there.
Yeah, a few times.
Have you done anything in the South Island?
I went on tour once to Picton, Nelson, and Blenheim.
Tell me about that. Was that just yourself, or was that...
No. There was a few comedians. There was Sarah Defsich, James Nikise, me.
I haven't seen James.
He's amazing.
I know. Everyone says he's amazing, but I haven't seen him.
We were in, I think it was around Blenheim somewhere. We were in this little wooden place, little wooden house. And when he got on stage and started talking, I remember sitting outside and smoking, and the whole house, the whole structure was shaking because people were like stomping because it was so funny. It was ridiculous. I've never heard anybody do any. I'm surprised he doesn't have a Netflix special.
Really? Yeah. That good? Is he in Wellington?
He's very political, which is super different and great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's all over the place, to be honest.
What's happening with Benjamin Crellin? Is he still doing comedy? I haven't seen him in a while either.
I opened for him a few months ago.
Yeah. You did the man.
The man, yeah.
The man, yeah.
I think he's around. Yeah. I just don't know if, like, the same with Raybon. I haven't seen really much of Raybon. I haven't seen him,
but I know he's putting on other shows soon as well.
Yeah, I think it's just us youngsters took over the the place.
Do you think it was? That's a classic thing, though, right? It's like a new wave has come through, and a new wave. Because I think I was hearing, Raybon didn't tell me this, but I was hearing a story of how there was no comedy in Wellington when he first started getting into it, and he put together like his own show at Bats Theater. This is when he was like, in his 20s, and just really paved the way. And I think after that, I think Jerome started coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I might be wrong on that one, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Rayvon's.
Yeah,
Rayvon's comedy.
same. Absolutely. Yeah, I really wanted him to be in my show, but for a few comedians that I know from when I started, kind of stopped for a while. I've done that too a little bit. Before I started producing, I stopped comedy for almost a year because I applied to be in the New Zealand International Comedy Fest with my solo show that I haven't written at that point, but had plans,
I'll just riff,
Yeah, well, you kind of apply in half a year in advance, so you have time to
Sure.
kind of masterpiece, whatever shit you put together. So they refused, and it broke me. It like, I felt so bad that they refused me, even though it's okay, and they refused. But I remember they refused Raybon the same year. I was like, how the fuck would you refuse him, But again, can't compare. So that really broke me, and I painted that. And it was just around the time when Louis C.K. was just came out with the whole Me Too thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it was like a whole painting of anger, and then I sold it for $1,000. My anger, it was.
Heyo,
Yeah,
you just need to get angry more.
It's in Paris now.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm super proud.
You ever chucked your art in a gallery or anything like that?
Yeah. We had the stripper exhibition, and then I had a few more galleries, and then the place where we're sitting now, Manky Chops.
Yeah.
He still has my skateboards upstairs.
Fucking awesome place.
Yeah, he did the decade. It was just, I don't know, hundreds of skateboards.
I remember this. Yeah.
And everybody painted
this was
it.
recently, right? Well, I mean, like within a year, two years ago, maybe
a year ago.
Just down below at Yeah,
they're still there, and then like half of the sales go to the charity of the artist's choice.
Cool.
And mine still is Women's Refuge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was Manky Chop started out as like a skate group?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they started ages ago, and he's been putting so much stuff together for Wellington. Really great gigs.
There used to be that place, Twin Peaks. Was that what it was called, or two? It was right behind KFC on.
Yeah, that's where they did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking cool place, but they lost the building. They've had to move out.
Yeah. They had a ramp there.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Had some big. I never went to any of the parties, but could hear the noise.
I was there. It was really fun. Yeah, that's super dope. No, Wellington's great for all of this stuff.
So good.
We need a bigger venue. We need like a bigger
venue
for like a rave kind of situation, I think.
We need. I wish.
Also, we need more disability access to places. I'm gonna keep talking about it.
Yeah, that's great. I think speaking of like venues for raves and stuff, I think Cavern Club
for a rave, if it was like maybe 5 times bigger.
No, it's just just fucking bunker, bottom, no space to breathe. Oh, I love that style of thing. You want like a big thing in
I'm
Wellington?
Thinking bigger and more and packed.
Are you talking like a warehouse kind of thing?
Yeah.
They've got a few of them here, but they feel very commercial.
Yeah.
I think the ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
The thing is, in New Zealand, at least in Wellington, nothing's abandoned. Everything's been developed. You got to go out to the hut kind of way in the CBD, and the ones that are abandoned. Let me clarify that the ones that are abandoned, the cops can get to so quickly. If you're doing like an illegal one, but if you're doing one that's like ticketed and stuff, it's hard though when you get a bigger event. Then you have to get all sorts of consents. You have to have portaloos, facilities, everything like that.
Yeah, see, that's why the plan for festival is like 3-5 years away.
Sure.
Because it has to start small. And like, I had, so for the Dark Art of Comedy 4, I had 4 musicians, and 2 of them pulled out. So it's quite hard to work with musicians. So, yeah, I get it, pulling out and stuff, but that's a part that I don't like. I don't like to be a bitch, so I try not to be, but at the same time, I feel like I should be more firm with
you got to be
people.
stern. Yeah, you definitely got to be stern, and you got to be able to like break off. Like, are we doing this as friends, or are we doing this right now as like a not when you say business kind of thing? It really takes away a lot of like the essence. I feel like of what like an art is.
Yeah, like I had a guy who kind of fucked with me for a month a little bit, being like, yes, I'll do it, but not really responding.
Sure.
And my banker's flatmate advice was like, we can just sue him. He said yes to the gig. You can just message him and say, yeah, you know, you
want that though.
you agree to. Of course I don't, but having the thought of being able to do that.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
is something.
Yeah, it's I get more anxious organizing a show than getting up on stage before a show.
But both of us did the thing when we organize and perform at the same time, which is fucking messy. I'm
I
not sure
don't
if I should do that.
I don't like it because I feel like for the first 2 hours before the show, I'm like going over my stuff. I'm trying to figure shit out, and I want to make sure everything's right. But then I've got to do the logistics of like the show side of things. So I got to make sure the chairs are all set up. Have I sold? Sounds dumb to say this. Have I sold too many tickets? And
Swag.
no, I'm not saying like that, but you know what I mean. But it's like when you
Yeah.
go to a venue of like 30 people,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, yeah, we can do 25 tickets, and then maybe 10 on the door. People can stand. Like even like out in Newtown just recently, I was like, fuck, we might have sold too many. It's gonna be tight, and you're just getting anxious about that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm, oh shit, I gotta go up on stage, and you're in like this totally different mindset all of a sudden.
Man. And like I said, I'm not a great MC. I don't know why I keep emceeing my shows, to be honest. I don't
You're gonna get better.
I've been writing actually more MC stuff, like questions that I can ask people that I can politely wait for them to answer and then answer myself,
Mm-hmm.
So that's been working.
Have you done crowd work spots?
Like you did at the medicine. So Rob put me on the 26th of August.
I'll
to
100%.
do the. Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in my calendar.
I'm getting
right
I'm getting my sleeve done, and then right
Hey.
after that, I'm going to.
It's gonna be wrapped in plastic and everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
second skin. Yeah.
26th of August. I'm chucking that in. I'll be there.
It's all female lineup as well.
Cool.
So that's gonna be dope for the medicine, and I'm gonna do a crowd spot. So did you prepare any questions for that?
So yeah, prepared questions. When I was there on the night of, I was just looking at the audience. And I was like, all right, who am I going to like? I saw a guy with a turtleneck.
Yeah.
And I was like,
man, everybody remembers this Steve Jobs guy.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, that's sticks out like a sore thumb. And I was like, oh, everyone's quite young here. I was like, oh, there's two old people here. And I was like, oh, well, that's like a joke in itself right there, and just riff off of that. And it goes quick too. And another thing that they do really well at the medicine is they warm the crowd up so well. The MC I had Sarah. She did a great job.
Yeah, she killed, yeah.
And then Shannon, I think, I can't remember. I think it was Neil. And then Neil was just like, hey, listen, guys, this guy's coming up with no material. Same with Sarah. You got to be really nice, be friendly. The more fun you have, the more fun he's going to have. And they get you all ready for it. So it's easy. It's not easy, but it's like people are there for you.
I think I've done like a few gigs over the years. We used to have really awesome gigs. We had this gig called The Date Night.
I heard about that.
And it was it was like that old show, like a talk show when you have a person behind the curtain and then they have three. And then so the person was just a audience member and he was asking questions and three of us were answering. That was fantastic. I loved that show so much. And then we had what was the other one? Blind set, when you don't really prepare anything, you just kind of have to fill in the blanks or answer questions and stuff like that. Or like we had a few, what are those called when a few people sit at the stage?
Panel?
Yeah, like a panel show. That was fun. That was all right. I
I
remember
wanted to
being
be-
like too high for those. Like
Yeah,
I remember
right.
still smoking weed so much, like literally before the show, just being like, meh.
You just bullets out of your mind. Just,
It calmed me down at some point. It doesn't anymore.
Yeah, right. You get numb to it.
I smoke like 5 hours before the show maximum.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried going like sober for most. I used to drink a tiny bit, but now I've kind of stopped. I have like a coffee.
I'll have a whiskey or two. but
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking pussy. I'm like a chi. I have a chai, like a fucking tea, a chai tea or something like that.
Yeah.
But crowd work spots are awesome. I reckon there used to be a show where it was like, I think it was you who produced this. Like, I didn't write this.
No,
was
that was.
Or this is not my material. I can't remember. This is before my time.
I didn't write this. I think it was Neil's or maybe Jules. Oh, I can't remember, but we had to swap material. Yeah, and I had to swap it with Neil, and we really played on the whole like my dad's a homophobe and that kind of vibe.
Is it like considered bad practice to like bring that idea back?
Find who started it and just ask.
Yeah, because I would love for that show to exist, and I think it's such a great idea. I did Bats Theater. Have you done anything over there?
I haven't done, but I've been, yeah.
Good fun. I haven't done like a big.
Oh no, we did Bogan yoga there once.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about. What was that?
We had like 5 of us. The team changed a few times, but the first idea was that it's a show, interactive show where you bring your yoga mat or whatever, and you actually do yoga with us, with the
Mm-hmm.
instructors. And we're just bogan as fuck and disgusting. I'm like this stripper Russian mother, Svetlana, that I'm just like shoving tampons with vodka up my butt.
And this is wild. The shows, like, are there people in the audience?
People in the audience are doing the yoga with us. And the yoga is like handle the janda, or like, what was it, like slice the... I don't know. They were all like Vahine warrior. I don't know yoga. That's the only yoga I've ever done in my life. So
right.
Yeah. So.
That's what it's all like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking boring. So
You don't like yoga?
No.
Dude, I love yoga.
No,
Oh,
I'm not. I do I personally like shibari, which is kind of like a way of meditation. It's the Japanese art of being tied up.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's quite a yoga thing in itself.
Do you know what I've gone into?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of Wim Hof?
No.
Like the Wim Hof breathing method?
No.
This is insane. It's like, I'm going to sound like a real hippie right now, but basically it's like you are... People listening to me, this is such a fucking dumb idea, but it's freaking awesome. So basically it's just essentially like almost like hyperventilating. You're just like increasing the amount of oxygen in your overall body. So you lie down, you do 30 inhales, like big inhales, and then compress and then let it out. 30, 30, 30. And then you big breath, hold it, and then release it again, and all of it out for like a minute, and you just sit there, and it's insane. You just feel the blood coursing through your body because you're just increasing, like it's to do with the level, the alkaline levels of your blood. Mm-hmm. There's like acidity, and there's the other skill, which is alkaline, and you're just essentially increasing the amount of oxygen, which increases the alkaline levels, and it's amazing. It's so good.
Sounds like it would be interesting to do like in a flotation tank or something.
Have you done one of those?
No, but that's
so good.
That's the plan.
Just down the road.
Yeah.
Literally just down the road.
I literally live right next to it.
Yeah, it's expensive, like $95, but like just treat yourself.
No, I know I have to, but like I'm imagining something similar to like a few years ago. I used to do the like the nude modeling for painters.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great idea.
Turn this just ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm. I always thought it was a great idea because I always wonder, like, who are those women in the paintings? Who are those people? Kind of wanted to see how people see me as well. But then I remember first time I was told to just sit in silence for 2 hours. It's mental, dude. I don't leave my house without headphones. I can't even go down the elevator without my music because I just go insane on my thoughts.
Sure.
So sitting.
Did you get through it?
Moving,
2 hours?
I was about to leave a few times. I was like having a mental breakdown while not moving for 2 hours. And I imagine that like the deprivation tank would be quite similar experience, and that I wouldn't want to maybe live through it. Maybe that's why I like LSD so much, because it kind of just pushes you through it. You have to go with the river, go with the flow.
Sure.
But when it's like sober mind, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, you can get out though. I mean, so essentially the ones over there, it's not all black. They can have ones that have like color. There's music. That
do they have like music?
That's they can have speakers in the little tank that they can play over that too.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. And you're also like, it's not like you're in a tank and then you get out and there's a person there. You have your own room. So it's like there's a tank, nice, at least the one that I'm talking about, a nice nice room, shower, everything's wood finish, it's beautiful, and you have a button you can press and someone can come over. Highly recommend. It's so good.
I'm gonna give it a go.
Yeah, it's back to that nude. I've done nude, never modeled in a nude drawing thing, but I've done it once. And I did this bit for that one Neil's 1 minute. Yeah. And fuck, man, it was just me and my buddy. We were the only ones that showed up to the nude drawing thing.
Yeah.
And we'd never drawn before.
Yeah.
So we get there. We showed up like 15 minutes late, right? Because we wanted this guy. We were like, all right, listen, we've never done this. We don't want any attention on us. So we get there. There's this guy sitting in the corner with like a bathrobe on.
Yeah.
He stands up. He's like, oh, thank God, someone showed up. And we're like, oh, fuck me, He leaves, comes back completely naked, sits down, and then we're like expected to draw.
Yeah.
I can't draw. I've never drawn, And
what, did you think it's going to be like a class?
Yeah, no. I thought it was going to be a big classroom. I'll sit in the back and I'll just practice drawing a tiny bit. Like I wasn't worried about my drawing, but then he like at the start, he's like, oh, hey, it would be cool. Like you guys draw me, but can I see what you guys have drawn at the very end as well? And my drawings are like so shit, like terrible. And I'm like, I don't need an hour to draw this, dude. And he's like getting into different poses, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude. And he shows it to him, and he's just like,
yeah.
And that's pretty cool. So disappointed. I asked him if he wanted to keep it, and he said no.
I kept a few actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, I went a few times, but yeah, it got pretty tiring for my mind, I suppose. One time I fell asleep, which felt really good actually.
They were cool with that?
Yeah, man. I had to do a post for 30 minutes. I had a nap, you know.
Jesus. Yeah, I've done it once. It's like over the past 3 years, I've just been trying loads and loads of different things. Just trying to like spread as much stuff out there. And yeah, it's been awesome. But yeah,
that's what you should be doing always, like looking for what you're good at.
Probably gets harder as well, I think, as you get just like different things come into your life.
You can try to approach it the same way with schizophrenia idea, with like different people and you are trying different things, and you know, maybe that works.
Yeah,
because I really want to be an embalmer. Truly.
Embalmer?
Yeah, I really do.
Really?
I have been for a very long time. I've learned that the job doesn't pay really well, and it's kind of like the lowest of the funeral services. But I'm just fascinated by it, and I would like to help people understand death a bit more. But I'm worried about it. You know, I really want to give it a go, but it feels like it's going to have to be another person in me who's dealing with that, another time management situation, another job, completely different life.
How do you get into that?
You buy a book and you read it.
No, as in like the job itself.
To be honest, you can go study. There's like a year study to be an embalmer.
Yeah.
It's like $4,000 or something. And then the lady I talked to, she owns one of the funeral services here. Her name's Fiona King, and she's got this like Jacinda vibe. She's incredible. Very, I don't know, so much power from that woman. I just enjoyed talking to her for so long. She walked me around her funeral services, showed me all the caskets and stuff, you know. Talked to me about things I would have to do if I did get the job. She said that she started just by becoming an apprentice, just because she was curious, because it's not really a popular job, you know. But it's interesting. I would want to get into like a natural embalming, you know, so there's no chemicals involved, which is becoming quite popular. Because we don't really need to poison the earth after we're dead. That's stupid.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Yeah.
But yeah, I understand no, I don't want to get too much into it. But yeah, I really would want to give it a go. And maybe like producing feels like my calling in a way, but it might change because things change all the time. But I don't want to, you know, not have the idea of maybe one day being capable of that.
Yeah, I think there's like as you get older, I think the doors are always open to kind of transition, depending on like, obviously if you get married, you have kids or something like that, then things, because then you're no longer responsible just for yourself. You know, you do have to start considering other factors. And you also start thinking about like the lifestyle you want to live in the future. Of course, like right now, we're very nimble, agile. We can kind of jump around, do lots of different things, which is great. But I think it's just kids, man. I don't have any kids.
I don't have any kids either, and I don't know. I thought I wanted some, you know, when I was in a relationship. Now I look at my friends who have kids and I'm like, oh, fuck, no.
It's a huge lifestyle choice.
It's very different. And also, I don't know. I think it's important who you want to have them with. And then there's not really anybody I would want to share this kind of stuff with. Plus, I'd rather adopt.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can you adopt as a single mom? Is that hard
I've been asking that question for a while now. Apparently you can in New Zealand. You just have to maybe provide the, you know, financials that you are capable to be a single parent.
I think I was talking to somebody about this, and there's like a lot of fucking paperwork.
It would be. Any adoption would be, but yeah. That would be
which makes a lot of sense. I don't know why I'm sounding blown away, but there's a lot of paperwork too.
No, but yeah, family and stuff, I don't know. I'm 30 this year, and the body clock is kind of telling me that I do maybe want them, but then at the same time my mind's like, no, you don't. You just want to be.
Body's telling you yes, but you're.
But my mind. Yeah, but my mind's telling me like, no, for sure, no, because.
Well, that's probably really good, because I think a lot of the times when we act on bodily impulses, it can go against our own mind.
It's even as simple as like, I just want my tits to stay the same.
Sure. Yeah. Same.
Yeah, gorgeous. I can't stop staring. But yeah, I don't know. My best friend had a baby 4 months ago.
Right.
And yeah, she's busy breastfeeding all the time.
Yeah, right. That's good. At least she's not doing like the
I
powdered
had a
formula.
shot of her breast milk on Thursday just before the show.
Why the fuck does that gross me out more than drinking a cow? Like, I think of cow milk. Who the fuck was the first guy to milk a cow?
Yeah,
That's what
I
I
know.
want to know. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
I always thought about like who's the one to crack an egg onto like a hot pan, or who the fuck came up with a poach tag?
Yeah, yeah. And why don't we have pig milk?
Or yes, or today I was watching what is it, the series Hannibal?
Yeah.
And there was something about like making the strings out of cat's guts,
Mm.
and they show the process, and it's quite a long process. I'm like, who the fuck went through? They kind of clean the guts,
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
do this thing to make this beautiful sounding instrument. Who came up with it? We need psychos, for inventions.
On that, so I did a history degree, right? And I studied, the Romans as well. And there was a really interesting, obviously after the Roman Empire collapsed, there was so much lost knowledge that took place. And it took like realistically another 1,000+ years, probably even more than that, to regain where we'd come. It's like the aqueducts existed. And then after a period of time, no one had any clue how to build the aqueducts. The thimble, you put on your thumb, the finger when you're sewing, that was lost for like, that 1,000+ years.
Yeah, and then the pyramids, and the whole idea of electricity going through the tops and everything. Yeah.
Wait, what's that? Electricity going through the tops?
I don't know. I think it's one of with Joe Rogan's podcast. He was talking about the theories of how Egyptians were so developed because they actually had pyramids built in this particular way with this particular top, and they had something running in the ground that just physics.
Right.
It was
okay.
simple physics that worked, but it was lost as well.
Sure.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's
A lot of things, man. I think maybe a lot of things about mushrooms were lost as well, and because they're illegal, we can't really learn as much as we want about them because they're beautiful. Mushrooms are amazing, and we can heal our minds and bodies with them, like actually heal. So I don't know why it's all.
Well, in the 50s, there was a load of like scientific research that was legally being done with LSD, and then the government obviously shut all that down. And there was some like really interesting stuff coming out.
My friend Maddie, who you probably would love to have on the podcast, she's the smartest person I know. She just everything just absorbs it like a sponge. She was talking to me about this. Sorry, what would...
We were talking about research with LSD, lost knowledge.
There is a research happening now in Auckland, and she's going to have an interview with the guy who's running it. Because I asked a few people about the research. It's like microdosing LSD, and they are only conducting it on men. And I had a lot of questions about why only on men. That's not fair. You know what I mean?
You want to microdose.
I want to microdose, but they're saying it's because we don't know women's bodies, we don't know what's going to do to the reproductive system, et cetera, et cetera. There's many reasons, But she's going to have an interview with the guy. So we are doing it. We still haven't legalized weed, but we're microdosing LSD.
Yeah, there's a really weird area where it's like, I don't know what the restrictions are, but I know you have to go jump through a lot of fucking hoops just to get even like on a basic form of like medicine that you want to get like signed off.
But like class A is LSD. It used in America, right? It used to be LSD, MDMA, marijuana, and class A means that they absolutely have no help whatsoever, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's so much taking MD with your family to deal with some shit. Yeah, right. I would love to have acid with my parents, to be honest. I think I could really blew them away. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I do that with my no, I don't.
No, your parents are fun, man.
Yeah, they're pretty chill as it is.
Yeah, no, I would do acid with your parents.
Jeez. So what do you got coming up?
I have a show at Ivy.
Are they bringing those back?
On the 6th.
Is that Jules?
Yeah, for Jules Daniel. What's it called?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Actually, I have to look it up as
well.
It's the show at Ivy.
Look it up. I'll wing this right now by myself. I've done a few shows down there before with Neil's ones, and I love the venue. I love Ivy in general. You ever gone to the 121 raves?
I haven't been, but I wanted to go. Yeah, a few of my friends went.
When they were, I think their first one was actually on the tugboat on the waterfront. But then they also brought a few to the car park space just So there's Ivy, the bar, and then just to the right of it is like this massive underground car park, and they expanded it out into there. And then they started doing like a few other ones here and there, and then they opened up that club up on Courtney Place, and now they're reopening in X Base, just down below. But they've got I love that venue. Ivy's cool.
Yeah,
It's
Ivy's
weird with
super cool.
comedy because of that big fucking pillar straight in the goddamn middle. That shit pisses me off.
That's where me and Saran did our International Comedy Fest show. It was really good.
It went well?
Yeah. I can't find it.
No stress.
Can you find it?
Yeah.
At some point. Well, we can do it.
I will find it. I'll shout it out in the outro.
Yeah, so that's the one coming up. And then I don't know, the Medicine, probably Rob likes to put me up a lot. I'm loving it. And I really want to do that show that Neil has been planning to, started organizing with a Pro Comics, which I'm not sure if I am, but Pro Comics trying new material, which I think is going to be helpful for all of us to try and write something new.
Does he have a venue for that yet? Or is he kind of thinking powwow?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I would like to do some more stuff in Bats. Would be cool. I
Yeah.
would like a new Baobab is cool. That one out in Newtown's a good one.
My friend Maddie actually works there. Yeah.
At Baobab?
Yeah.
The brunette.
No, she's a blonde.
No, okay, I don't think I've met her, but that's a cool little venue. And they got that outback area.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I found weird recently? So we did Mayfair, the Mayfair Cafe one out in Upper Hut.
Haven't been, but okay.
Yeah, we did it on Friday, and it was just a little weird note. Just the fact that there was like a big room. I found I didn't do too well that night.
Is it like Moon Bar big?
Higher
like
ceilings?
Higher,
like
yeah,
far higher.
Dude, I don't want to do Moon Bar comedy because it's for gigs. It's not for comedy.
It's a weird thing.
It's
I think
music.
everyone else did really well. I think it's gonna still go.
Do you think it could be the vibe that you're just kind of intimidated by the big place?
100%. I think it was that. I think I was talking to James, the guy who emceed it, and he was saying just be louder, bring more energy, because you almost have to like let the noise carry its.
But we talked about getting finding your comedic voice.
Totally, and it's a constant.
What if it's not that loud?
That's true. Yeah. That's a good point. I think you just have to tailor your energy a tiny bit more. Look at me on my hippie bullshit again. Energy, but yeah, you just gotta tweak it ever so slightly.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, it was real interesting. Cool little venue though. It used to be an old cinema. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and they've converted it over there. So you got Mayfair, you got any more shows? Dope As? When's the next Dope As?
Yeah, right. Dope As the next one is actually going to be on 23rd of August.
Cool.
It's a Sunday, 7 o'clock at the Fringe. We have a really good lineup that I will announce in a few days.
Sick.
Yeah, and Dope As is happening like every month, every last Sunday of the month, except this is not the last Sunday of the month.
No.
But we just had to use it.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'm planning to organize the next Dark Heart of Comedy for maybe not late September, but early October, because I realized this is silly, but literally something I realized before the show on 30th.
Mm-hmm.
It's the end of the month, and I'm getting my period, and I'm so fucking stressed about it. I don't understand why I'm putting shows at the end of the month. I really need to do it later, like mid-month or just in the beginning, so I'm not just losing my shit. Like, don't heckle me,
Yeah. What about Halloween? How would you like try and pair it with Halloween? October? I feel like it would be the perfect show for it.
Last time I did 17th of October because my birthday's on 18th, so I used it as a promotion. I was like, everybody show up so we can party for my birthday after. That did work. That was fun. But yeah, I don't know yet. Maybe there's going to be plenty of stuff for Halloween, to be honest. People will do a lot of it. Yeah,
Neil does some good shows for Halloween. I remember that. That's when I was like starting to get into comedy a tiny bit more. And there was like so many of his stuff going. But
yeah, he did. Jules Burgess used to do a few really good Halloween.
I think I know her.
She's more of a musician now rather than comedy. She was a girl in Bogan Yoga with me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did comedy for a while, but I don't think she does now. She does on a podcast though, where they play Dungeons and Dragons. The comics play Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, but I'll keep you updated.
Yeah,
I want to do stuff, man. I want to write more. I want to write an hour show. Hour show that I keep talking about because I've never done an hour. I'm just the usual worries like, are people gonna show up or is it gonna be good enough?
Only one way to find out.
Not too preachy. That's all I'm hoping for.
I think that's what we're working towards too, or myself at least. So there's this thing out in Palmy we want to do. Gonna do 15 minutes out in Palmy, and then 20 minutes up in Whangarei, and then hopefully get to 30 minutes down here in Wellington for the Fringe Festival, just in time for that. And then that would almost have marked my 2-year mark, and then start working towards an hour.
Great. That's, over there. That's time management for you. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not good at it though. But
see a therapist. They're expensive.
Yeah, my work pays for it. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they pay for your teeth too?
No.
Nobody does.
No. Glasses though. Pay for my glasses.
What?
Yeah.
I just bought these babies for $500.
$500 fucking dollars.
Well, yeah, the frames are like $300, and then I need to make them thinner because I'm super blind.
Yeah, they look good though. I dig them.
You want to try?
Yeah,
everything looks so pretty in pink, man. Everything looks like in a movie.
Where'd you get them from?
Specsavers.
Holy, you are blind, Anya.
Yeah, man, I am.
I can't see anything. Like, you are blurry.
But it's so pretty in pink, right?
I mean, yes, once I get past, like, the blurriness.
Yeah, no, I'm like -6. I can't really cross the road without them.
Really? God damn. Well, hey, Anya, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I had a blast.
Yeah, me too.
And I will see you in... Well, I'll continue seeing you till I lead you out of the building.
Yeah, and also you're going to be in my next Dark Heart of Comedy. We've confirmed that, right?
Yes. Sweet. So I will promote that once with all the details and the outro.
Actually, I'm not sure the next one's going to be poetry. The next one's probably going to be music too, because I have a band I want to play.
Yeah, sick. Easy. I'm keen. Keen as a bean. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Hi.
Hey. Oh, nice. Okay, that was easy.
Hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. That was fun. I know I did. Once again, I have a Line 'em Up comedy show out in Newtown here in Wellington on the 25th of September. And more importantly, I need a place to stay in Whangarei on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of October. Looking forward to it, guys. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. God, I'm nailing it. Woo, getting better every day. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Love you. Bye.